Echoes of Eternity Set 6 of Alpha Clash is out, available for you to purchase at your local champion store. You could also pick up boxes at Team Covenant on the 3rd, I think it was. I did a Twitch live stream where I managed to open my case, 4 boxes of Echoes of Eternity, which was pretty cool. In the process of setting up the recording to be able to transfer that over to YouTube, my Streamlabs decided to just stop allowing me to record that day. And because I was in the middle of a stream, I didn't want to cut the stream and then do some other stuff. So unfortunately, the recording of that is not available, but I got some cool stuff that we can check out at a later date. But what I did do is at my local champion store, I picked up 2 more boxes of Echoes of Eternity. So today, what I'm going to do exclusively for the YouTube audience is I'm going to crack open 2 boxes of Echoes of Eternity. We're going to go through this quickly. They're big boxes. There's lots of cards in here. I'll go over some fun things that are involved with the set, but we're primarily looking at the hits, foils, all that other fun stuff in this set, so that way we can move forward with set 6, Echoes of Eternity, and prepare for ClashCon in Nashville towards the end of October. So HARK, we are here. It is time. We're cracking some boxes. Let's check it out. So here are my 2 boxes. We're going to take one of these. We're going to set it aside, and then we're going to cut this open really quick. This was a very fun set to open. I spent actually about 3 hours opening it, which was crazy because there's more packs, more cards per pack, and these boxes are ginormous. If you have a regular box handy around you, just take a look at it compared to my hand. It's pretty interesting. So we're going to pop this open. Every box does, of course, come with a box topper. We have here Making Arrangements. This is a very good card for the Anzudak deck, specifically because it counts as a Dragon Clash card for triggering Wrath, which is very important. It's a high cost card, but it can also just give you 3 of your Clash cards, Dragon Clash cards, a buff for the turn. So we're going to set that aside, and then we're going to pop these open real quick. Boom. Lots of packs here. Oops, I missed 2 of them. Set this box aside for bulk for later. And here is our stack of packs. So we're going to set this aside. I'm going to fix my focus really quick, and we're going to start cracking some packs. So here we are. We got ourselves our little tab. We'll just pop that on the side. And we're going to take a look. We're not going to go through every single card, but we are going to look at some of them in this first pack. So we got here Devastating Blow. This is a basic action. One of the brand new things that's involved with the set is roll icons, rolls themselves. This one little shield here is the Sentinel. We've got a little spider looking one, which is Destroyer, and then a Caduceus, which is Savior. Those apply to the role types that these characters from the Cosmic Conquest board game reflect in the card game and the board game, and what they are relevant. If we get a contender, which we should, I'll show you where that is on the actual card. It's basically a deck building restriction. If your character is not a Sentinel, you cannot play this card. Lots of cool art here with the text on them and stuff like that. Basically, whole comic scenes can end up getting into the card. We got Doomcaster. This is actually a character I'm very much looking forward to playing in future sets. A black alpha card that is from Earth that's got some really cool stuff. I know Kilimanjaro is basically the same thing, but this guy looks cooler, and he's Atlantean. We got Wanted here for the Shadowblade set. We've got a Shadowblade here. Very cool card. Blue Alpha Hunters. Very cool to have. Alpha Aster, Douchebag Supreme, Piercing Arrow. We've got Knockdown, Keprius, Scarab Lord, another contender I'm looking forward to in future set. Blue alpha character, fun stuff. Shadowblade's Mindscape. We have Cleansing, Whirlwind Kick, Masters Variant the Wise, Piston Strength Enhanced, Thragor Fortified. This guy's going to be very interesting, not necessarily specifically this card, but Thragor as a whole. We've got Mechanized Restoration as our first foil. We have Cadavros, so you can see here in the top, that's the Savior icon. Your contenders will have those, and as they are available, you'll see those. And then that's the last card for this pack. Only 1 foil. Interesting. I thought, no, yeah, it is only 1 foil, generally, unless you're rare as a foil, and then you get 2 foils. So moving on, lots of really great art in this set, lots of cool things to be taking looks at. Harmonic Swarm, there's actually 2 different characters in this set that do not have affiliations. It's very strange to me, but it's also kind of interesting. So, Cadavros, lots of cool stuff from the Shadows, Bombardment, Iron Piston Steam Powered, Thragor Resilient, Rancorous Charge, new Clash buff specifically for Sentinels. I prefer the old ways. High Impact, Clarity, Death the Dreadful. We've got Iron Piston, Cogheim Defender. We've got Eldralore. These are also very cool. Whole planets as Clash Grounds. I wonder if Earth will get a new version of a Clash Ground Then we got a foil Paradigm Shift, which is good for me, requires a savior. And then we have Sinai here, another one of our contenders, savior contender, pretty interesting. Opening up our next pack, Triumphant Surge. This is a character, Valen Solarian, that a lot of people are looking forward to getting as well. Progenitor's Grace, there she is right there. Unarmed and Dangerous. We're just going to keep flying through these. If you want to, here's Amalgamite, which is, again, affiliationless. Anzadak, Terror of the Sky. Energy Blades, Keprius, Cadaverous' Lair. Thragor the Unyielding. This card I think is actually going to be very good just in general. It's a 3-cost, 2 black specified black card. This card cannot attack if you control another clash card, and trigger defeat, discard a card. It's a 5/3, so it's very strong for a 3-cost. And if it gets defeated, you discard a card. But if you manage to send it to oblivion before that, you don't discard the card, which is quite good. We got a foil Valen Solarial and a foil Anzadak Contender Sentinel. This one is actually one of the characters that I would be most interested in building a deck around, Anzadak and Shadowblade. I love the dragon. You're going to be running a lot of red and green in this deck because that's where most of the dragons are, and you want to be able to trigger those wrath effects when they're necessary, which is pretty cool. Love having access to the extra foil there. You love to see it. We do have some reprints of errated cards, so Avenging Guy trying to help one of those cards. Earth Gem, another one of those cards. Auspicious Flight. Another Harmona Swarm, Cadaveros. I love the art on Clarity here. It's just so good. The art in Cosmic Conquest, the comic book for Clarity, is top notch, and it's just dope. Guardian's Defense, another reprint here. Shadowblade, ready for payback, a cool card. Help is on the way, foil, and then we have the Shadowblade herself, who is a destroyer contender. And she is very interesting. A different way of playing blue that also has ambush without it being so control-based like Krung is. So we love that. More Alpha Asters in here. Alpha Aster is also a contender that's in this set. His errated version, which is pretty cool to have. Doomcaster again. Reprint Haven with the correct text that you have to control another Earth card. So here we go. Iron Piston here is a red-black card here that generates red or black when it's put in the resource row. It's bound like other cards. You can only have one unique name version of this card in your resource row. But to incentivize you to run more of these and not just limit yourself to the one double card, this has a trigger enter. If your contender is a destroyer, you may draw a card, a 5/4. So it's an okay statted thing, but it replaces itself with being able to draw a card if you have to play it, if you already have one of these in your resource row. And that's really good. There's only 5 color combinations in Echoes of Eternity. I'm hoping the next set has the other 5 color combinations so we can get things going. Alpha Aster the Awakener, Eldralore. We've got a foil Unarmed and Dangerous and a Cadaveros. So we're going to go ahead and just move straight down to, we got Masters of Varion, who is a white-green dual card here. Onslaught. Love the representation of Genesis's war in this. It's pretty cool. Stealth Suit. We got Thragor Fortified as a rare foil. Ooh, here we go. Here we have a reprint epic here. Zhao Li Reconnaissance Agent. The change here is that Earth class cards you control get +1/+1 until the start of your next turn, whereas before it just said they get +1/+1, which technically by rules as written is a permanent buff, but that's not what they wanted, and that makes a lot of sense. First reprint epic there. Hopefully we can get some other cool epics. I'm looking for, I think, at least 2 more of the Sinai epic. Would love more Thragor epics, some other stuff that's out there that's pretty cool. We'll see as we move forward. Drakath, Anzadak, Inferno, Incarnate. We have another reprint epic here and a foil war minion. Love those. An accelerator of sorts. Reprint here. I believe that completes a full play set of at least just the card, if not the erratic card for me. So there's a lot of people talking about how the reprint epics are kind of a feel bad. I get that. I definitely get that. You want more of the new cards. Maybe that the reprint epics should have been in a different slot compared to, or a different, like maybe they could have been in the like token slot or something, or they could do something like Flesh and Blood, where for draft purposes you take out the last 2 cards that are not part of your deck, one of which is always a token and the second of which could be potentially a slot for cards you don't want to see in draft or sealed. So we're gonna just keep popping these off. Conquering Might, again, loving Genesis here. Earthly Barricade. We have another reprint epic here, which is Torque, Fury's Embrace. I don't think I have a playset of this, but this gets me very close to having that. So this is definitely a box that I could see someone being very disappointed with. I'm not, because having extra cards is always good, and I'm also foil hunting, so is it worth it to buy boxes just to do foil hunting? Probably not, but we're going to do it anyway today, at least, because I have the actual packs. So we got Masters of Fury and Tranquil Fury, and we have a Nano Shield. Still need a foil Nano Shield for Sanai. Actually, I can probably put this, I can probably put a bunch of these that I already have basically everything. I have out of a case, I believe I have a full place that have every common, uncommon, and rare. So I'm, again, just foil hunting and epic hunting. So you got a foil Fengyin Swordmaster. This is a bigger dude, pretty cool. Definitely more for Koggen than he is for Anzadak, because you want to have as many weapons as you can. This is probably going to get slotted in my my Koggen deck as quickly as possible. And then we had Windhoof on the offensive, who's a pretty cool character. And then we've got a War Minion. Valen Solario. So we've got Thragar the Unyielding, Bardaga, and then a foil Onslaught. Look at the foiling on this. It gets so good as it continues. There we have an Anzadak. Lots of important cards in this for limited so that you can continue playing draft, which is going to be a major component of the Pro Tour at ClashCon. So we got Fengyin here, we've got Avarice, we've got a foil Anzadak Apex Predator. Yeah, boy. We got our foil Nano Shield. That's basically an epic for me right there. I need that. Fengyin, Warden of the Inferno. This is also a very good card for Koggen, but also requires specifically a Destroyer. And one of the things is that Anzadak cannot actually play this. So there's not no reason, but it's one of those cards that probably should have been pushed to a later set when you actually get the Destroyer card that wants to use this. My assumption is Fengyin will be a Destroyer green contender in the next set. But having it now means at least Koggen can use it, and there's some prior contender support for characters in this set, which is important. You don't want it to be all only new stuff. Kadavros Bringing Back the Dead, Masters of Varian Channeling Focus. We have a Anzadak Elemental Tyrant foil and a Masters of Furion, who is also a savior. Lots of saviors in this set. I think they maybe overdid that a little bit, but we'll have to see as we move forward. Alpha Aster the Awakener, Shadow Blade Ready for Payback. We have Triumphant Surge, Go Down, and Sanai. I think it feels like it's more than 3, but it's 3 Survivors, 2 Destroyers, 2 Sentinels. I don't know. Oh, and then Alpha Aster, who is also in this set, but he does not have a role. He was not errated to have a role. We have a foil Drakaroth, we have a foil Blazing Arrow, and we have an Anzadak. We're halfway through this first box here. Lots of fun to be had. Trying to just get through these as best I can, because while fun, I've already opened, at this point now, 4.5 boxes. Guardian's Defense, Conquering Might. We have our IR, Nano Shield. We have our IR, Iron Piston Strength Enhanced. So my case topper was actually the textless version of this card, which is quite cool. So now we have a decent IR there. All of those IR arts are absolutely incredible. Just really good designs, really good cards. So we've got half the hits and half the box. Actually, a little bit more, because I don't think it's guaranteed, but it's on average 6 epics and 1 IR per box. So we've got Stealth Suit here. We have Drakaroth, and we have a Bronze Bracer Shield along with a Portal. Bronze Bracer Shield here is a 2-cost, 2 black specified black card, exclusive relic accessory. Whenever your contender attacks, you may engage this card. If you do, your contender gets +1/+1 until end of the clash. So this is very good for Thragar, who wants to be attacking. It's also actually good for Iron Piston. So I wouldn't be surprised if Iron Piston players are looking to pick that up to try to play that. Genesis, Harbinger of War. Fun stuff there. Kadavros Bringing Back the Dead, Shadowblade, Warden of Death. Foil T-Bone the Vindictive, and here's the Alpha Aster. You can see he's just got a circle, so no roll, and this is the errated version of that character. Valen Solarial, Fengyin the Swordmaster, Foil Masters of Furion, always ready, and a Sanai. Love the clarity. Shadowlash, Stealth Suit, Drakaroth, Foil Progenitor's Grace, and a Kadavros. We've got a pile of cards. that basically just goes into a box to be given to other people when they need it. Caprius, Swarming Legion, Shadowblade ready for payback, Anzadak Inferno Incarnate. We got Thragor Terrorizing Presence and a War Minion. So this is a 5-cost 3 black specified black clash card. It's got exclusive. Trigger enter if your contender is Thragor. You may return up to 2 target clash cards from any Oblivion to target opponent's clash zone engaged. Until end of turn, those cards get triggered defeat. Your contender loses 1 health. While you control less clash cards than any opponent, this card gets off factor 2, which I believe reduces the power or the attack of opposing clash cards by 2. Trigger attack, send target clash card with an attack power of 0 or less to its opponent's Oblivion, and this is a 5/5. No breakthrough on this though, so it means you can't do the extra damage by just smashing through one of your opponent's clash cards that's engaged. But you know, there's some interesting stuff that you can do with that Thragor. This seems to be the Thragor box. Well, I got the Iron Piston IR, so not completely. We've got Guaniel here, Cadaverous' Lair, a foil alchemical smokescreen, and a nano shield. Whoops. I think we're waiting for one more epic here. Hopefully this box has a legendary in it. This box is the next box. That'd be nice. Scarab Teleportation, Guaniel, Master Zephyrian. We have a gold foil mechanized smash here and a Master Zephyrian. So this is another hit type that we can get. All of the clash buffs in this set have gold foil versions, which are very, very cool. This one limited to destroyer characters, mainly Iron Piston. Very good card here, though. I think the game is calling me to play Iron Piston because I do have a lot of Iron Piston support, but I don't want to play him. I want to play other cards, other contenders. Cleansing Whirlwind Kick, Master Zephyrian the Wise, Thragor Fortified, Iron Piston Strength Enhanced, Valen Solarial, Radiant Surge. Look at the foiling on that. Oh, so good. And then we have a Portal. Portal, unfortunately, when it comes foil, is only foil on one side, and that's really disappointing. If you've got a double face card that has foil, it needs foil on both sides. Apex Predator, Inferno Incarnate, Conquering Might, and a foil Invigorating Elixir. Look at the foil on the liquid. That's so good. Iron Piston himself. Don't be surprised if Iron Piston and Thragor are 2 of the more popular contenders to pop out of this set. I think the other contenders have a place, but they are very immediately effective coded contenders. So Iron Piston Cogheim Defender, Bardaga, we've got a foil collection of champions, and then a Thragor the Brutal, especially Thragor because he can reduce damage he takes once a turn. Overwhelming Colossus, Alpha Aster Awakener, Shadowblade Warden of Death. We've got a Stone Cleaver Axe, and then an Iron Piston. This Stone Cleaver Axe is a 3-cost, 2 black specified contender weapon. Exclusive. Attached to Thragor for 2 black. Reduced by 2 black if you send a Thragor clash card you control to Oblivion. Attached card gets trigger attack. This card gains +2/+0 until end of the clash. If you control no clash cards, this also gets torment until end of turn, which means it requires 2 clash cards to block, to obstruct. At the start of your turn, you may detach this card. If you don't, your contender loses 2 health. Very Thragor coded box. I'm surprised that gold wasn't the Raucous Charge clash card. Valen Solarial, Beacon of Hope, Earthly Barricade, Anzadak Terror of the Sky, and an Alpha Aster Omnipotent. Pretty sure I'm finished with the hits, so we're just gonna fly through the rest of this pack, rest of these packs. We have a foil Shadow Lash and a foil Alpha Aster the Omnipotent. Shadowblade ready for payback. Anzadak Inferno Incarnate. A foil Haven Resourceful Helper. That's good errata card to have. Not that you need errata cards, but it's nice to have foil versions of them if you want to run foil decks. We've got an Earthly Barricade, Guardian's Defense, a Knockdown Foil, and an Alpha Aster. And our last pack with Shadowblade on it. What does this net us? Anzadak's Lair, Fengyin the Mystical, foil Iron Piston Strength Enhanced. Love getting foil rares. Foil Shadowblade dual resource card. Love getting those. And a Thragor. So that last pack was actually pretty good. Pretty good set of cards there to have. Not a terrible grip of cards here, to be completely honest. 3 reprint epics, not the best, but we did make up with a gold clash buff, the Iron Piston IR, and then no less than 3 Thragor epics. So might have to do some side building here momentarily. Next box. We're going to try to get through this portion a little bit faster than we did the first portion, specifically because it's been a long time. So you already know, box topper. I'm going to try to keep those with me when I go to ClashCon in case anybody hasn't bought a case like I have and needs more copies of that card. So here we go. We're going to just pull the last 4 cards out, and then start there. Just make sure, yeah, last 4. That's how this works for these packs. So we got a Bardaga, we've got a Iron Piston Cogheim Defender, we've got a foil Scarab Trinket, and then we also have a one-sided foil portal. Closed is not foil, but open is foil. So there we go. All right. Stack those there. We've got Conquering Might. We have a foil Shadowblade Warden of Death. You love to see it. A foil white-green Masters of Varian bound card, and a Nano Shield. So Iron Piston Strength Enhanced, Cadaverous' Lair, a foil Wanted, and an Anzadak Contender. Sticking those there, throwing this away. We've got Shadowblade, Warden of Death. We have Masters of Varian Channeling Focus. We have a foil Shadowblade Enhanced Senses and an Alpha Aster. We've got Gwenial, Merciful Progenitor. We've got Shadowblade, Warden of Death. We have a epic Cadaverous Vile Virtuoso and a foil Iron Piston. This one is also a little, this one sings a little for me personally because I did buy the case from Team Covenant to get 4 copies of their alt art, but it also means that this is trade value to somebody else who needs it that didn't get those. So I shouldn't complain, and I'm not complaining. I'm just letting y'all know that be how it be. We've got Feng Yin Swordmaster. We've got Feng Yin the Mystical. We've got a foil Valen Solarial, Sunborn Paladin, and a foil Sinai. Moving up, moving through, we've got 4. We've got Eldralore. We've got Baradaga. We've got a foil Zenith Prime, and then a Cadaverous. That was just a funny coincidence of having 3 planets in a row. Feng Yin Swordmaster, Avarice, Progenitor of Greed. We've got a Keprius Horde Commander and a Thrager. This guy's pretty cool. 4 cost, 2 blue specified blue Clash card. Exclusive. While the portal is closed, Keprius Clash cards you control get +1/+1. Trigger victory, you may put a Clash card with an initial resource cost of 1 from your hand into play. If you do, send that card to your Oblivion at the end of the turn, and it's a 4/4. That's pretty good, pretty decent. I'm excited to see what Keprius is going to be able to do coming up in future sets, because his design is really cool. Egyptian Alpha, who also seems to have some sort of not unearthly, but supernatural knowledge of things that are coming. So that's exciting. Earthly, Barricade, Guardian's Defense. We've got a foil Amalgamite, and then an Iron Piston. We have a Stealth Suit, a foil Iron Piston Cogheim Defender, a foil Vested Interest, and like I said, a portal. Hey, look, another portal. Could be a foil portal, though. Probably not. We've got an Alpha Aster, the Awakener, Masters of Varian Channeling Focus. We have a foil Alpha Aster, Master Artificer, and then a regular portal. Save those portals for Gambit. All right, we've got Avarice, Progenitor of Greed, Thragor the Unyielding, a foil Adaptive Shielding, and a Shadowblade. Okay, it's saving all the hits for the back half of this box. Earthly, Barricade, Gwenial, foil Iron Piston, black-red resource, and a foil Shadowblade. You love to see it. Foils of good contenders and foils of good cards. Always has value. Gwenial, Merciful Progenitor, Conquering Might. We've got a foil Execute and a regular Shadowblade. Yeah, no kidding about saving the hits for the last half of the box. We got 3 packs left and still a bunch to go. Thragor Fortified, Thragor the Unyielding, and Death the Dreadful foil there. Great art on that. Shadowblade, Warden of Death. Whoops. Stealth Suit, Keprius Swarming Legion foil, and a Sinai. This is our 1 half of the box. Iron Piston Cogheim Defender, Feng Yin the Mystical. We do have a Masters of Varian Adept Guardian Epic and a Masters of Varian himself. So this is a 6 cost, 3 white specified white Clash card with exclusive. This card, while this card is ready, it gets Safeguard. While your resource count is at least 2 less than your opponent, this card gets +3/+3 and trigger attack. Target opponent can't play Clash buffs until the end of the turn. And it has a 6/4 body. Very interesting. Masters of Varian is another contender that I'm like, I kind of wonder where this guy's going, but I don't know if I want to put the effort into figuring that out myself. Pile of commons and uncommons. Valen Solarial, Beacon of Hope, Anzadak Inferno Incarnate, Shadowblade Cyber Hunter, and foil, and a Sinai the Protector. People have been calling him Sinai. That's probably correct. I'm just going to call him Sinai because Psi and Nai adds an extra syllable that's not actually there. Elderlore, foil Cadavros, bringing back the dead. We have an epic Cadavros, deranged alchemist, and a regular foil. Cadavros here is a 3-cost, 3-green specified green clash card with the savior deck building restriction. So you're basically only running him in Cadavros right now. Counter attack. You may pay 1 green and send a clash card you control to Oblivion. If you do, your contender gains X health and you deal X damage to target clash card you don't control, where X is equal to the specified resource cost of the card sent this way. And he's a 2/3 for 3. So there we go. We got 4 of our 6 epics. We're hoping for the big L in this box. Thragger Fortified, foil Thragger Unyielding, foil Cosmic Journey, and a Nano Shield. Stealth Suit, Dracaroth. We've got Iron Piston, Mech-born Juggernaut, and then a War Minion. So our Mech-born Juggernaut here is a 6-cost, 3-black specified black clash card with exclusive magnitude 15, so you have to have 15 cards in your discard pile. This card gets +2/+2 in Torment. Trigger attack, you may diminish 3 cards. If you do, this card gets Breakthrough until the end of your turn. So you could trigger Magnitude in the middle of combat with this. And then Discover, when this card is diminished, trigger this effect, draw a card. This is a 6/5. Very, very good card there, honestly. Lots of good things that it does. Lots of value for things that you're doing. If you diminish it by accident, you get to draw a card. If you have a bunch of cards that have been diminished, it gets a better bonus. If you're willing to diminish more cards, it gets Breakthrough and you can blow things up. Shadowblade ready for payback. Cadavros, bringing back the dead. We have a epic solar mace here and an iron piston. This is a 4-cost, 4-white specified white savior card. This card may not be put into play. Attach for 4 white. Attached card gets +4/+0, breakthrough, and trigger challenge, which is when you deal damage to a contender with this clash card. Detach and attach solar mace and your contender gains 4 health. So just for quick clarification, this card may not be put into play. Playing a card from hand is not considered putting a card into play, although it is a card that is entering play. Putting a card into play is basically doing so with an effect that says put X card into play, right? So basically saying you can't cheat this out. You got to pay 4. You got to pay 4 to attach unless you have attach effects that allow you to attach for free. All kinds of stuff like that. And you get a ton of bonuses that allow you to deal damage to your opponent, clear your opponent's cards, and heal. All for the low, low cost of 8 resources over 2 turns. Iron Piston Cogheim Defender, Iron Piston Strength Enhanced, foil Alpha Aster, Architect of Alphas, and a War Minion. That's our full gamut of epics, so we're just waiting for an IR now. No Sinai, no Shadowblade. Super sad. Thragor Fortified, Valen Solarial, Beacon of Hope, foil Caprius, and a Nano Shield. Alpha Aster, the Awakener, Shadowblade ready for payback, foil Caprius, Scarab Lord, and an Anzadak. Legendary. Cadavros' Lair, Conquering Might, Alpha Aster, Nexus Unbound, and a Thragger. Guardian's Defense, Valen Solarial, Beacon of Hope. Ooh, okay. We got a Masters of Furion, and then this is an ink card. The Whisper Network's Agenda. Basically, this is a card that over 3 turns, you will eventually be able to pay enough resources to steal someone's clash card. But the fact that this is an ink card in this box is really cool. That actually looks... I'm not going to say it looks better than the Epic in terms of art. It just... Something about it seems much cooler. So, there's an ink card. That's a big hit. I don't know what those are worth. And depending on if that card is like insane and broken or terrible, that could be a really good pull or just an okay pull. Alpha Aster, the Awakener, Eldralore, foil Scarab Sigil, and a Cadavros. We are down to 4 packs left in this boost box, but we're getting through it as best we can. Masters of Furion, Guardian's Defense. Ooh, Anzudak Bound Resource foil. Love it. I think that means I have 1 foil from every one. Earthly Barricade, Fengyin the Swordmaster. We got a foil Elven upgrade and a War Minion. Iron Piston Strength Enhanced. Bardaga. Ooh, here we go. Cadavros and the IR Anzadak Infernal Incarnate. This is just a rare, but it's still an IR. 3 cost, 1 red specified. Red clash card here. Trigger, enter Wrath. Deal 3 damage to target clash card you don't control, so you have to reveal a Dragon Clash card from your hand with a resource cost greater than this card, so 4 or higher, and then put it at the bottom of your deck and then resolve the rest of the effect. And he is a 3/3 on his own. Very, very nice. That was the IR we were waiting for. Last pack, Anzadak on the cover. Could we get the Anzadak Legendary? I don't think so, but we can always hope. So, in fact, let's do this. We'll take the token card and put that up front. So we have ourselves an Alpha Aster. We have a Dracaroth rare. We have an Anzadak Infernal Incarnate. This would be pretty hype if it was the legendary. And a foil Cadavros resource. Not terrible. Actually very good to have. Those are going to be money because everybody wants to foil out their decks. And this is a very fun game to foil out, to be completely honest. But we've got the IR Anzadak. We've got the Whisper Networks Agenda Inc. We've got the Solar Mace, the Iron Piston, the Cadavros, the Master Zephyrian. I think I have a playset of that now. Caprius and Cadavros Vile Virtuoso. An above average box, if only for the value, although I'm very happy to have that. And honestly, happy to have the Caprius too. Lots of cool stuff here. Very happy with the pulls today. So there you have it. Lots of fun stuff coming out of Set 6 Echoes of Eternity. We'll be back again with another box opening when Set 7 comes out, or if anything other fun stuff comes out. Box toppers. That's all that I have today. Thank you very much for joining me, everybody. Apologies that I wasn't able to get the other box opening of my case from Twitch. Lots of good stuff in there, though. Things I have to sort through here. Honestly, getting some of these Thrager cards, even though it's like a bunch, kind of like a bunch of one-offs, is still very interesting to me. Getting the extra Anzadak without having the Breathe Fire is a little annoying, but there's lots of cool options to play in Set 6. I think every contender has something cool it can do. Not every contender might be viable, and there's definitely some contenders that are way more viable than others. I think the top 3 contenders of the set are going to be, without any doubts, Iron Piston, Thrager, and Cadavros. Anzadak has some cool stuff that's very high risk, high reward. Shadowblade has a very fun way of interacting with Ambush while also still being an Alpha Hunter and dealing with Alpha Hunter stuff. Sanai is a little bit more control-based style gameplay that requires you to be very careful with your resources. Master Zephyrian is kind of just action cards, a lot like Magnate's Indomitable Will was. And then Alpha Aster is just a reprint one, so you don't have to worry about him. And I think that's everybody. Two red, two black, 1 green, 1 red, or sorry, 1 green, 1 blue, 1 white. So yeah, I think everything is viable, but those 3 specifically, Thrager, Iron Piston, and Cadavros, are going to be the top of the game. Who knows if they have if any representation at ClashCon, because we still have the bounty contenders to deal with, and then the actual event card, Hunger of the Void, that changes up the way that people play the game as well, which is one of the great things about Alpha Clash. It's not the same game every event you go to. So thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you. We will see you in the next one. Hopefully we've got some cool fun stuff coming down. Make sure to like this video, comment down below what your favorite pull of mine was, what you're going to play for the future of Alpha Clash and Echoes of Eternity, and what you're most excited about with Set 7 and 8, with more Cosmic Conquest stuff coming to the Alpha Clash trading card game. Fun stuff all around. Subscribe to this channel for all of your CCG needs that I cover. Thank you very much for joining me. I've been Ryback Stun. You've been my amazing audience, and I will see you in the Clash.